Every house has a foundation, but what do you build on quicksand? When we try to hold our heads high, we realize the gravity is heavier when the ground beneath you keeps sinking. Like the life swallowed whole in Odi, or the blood spilled at Lekki, death has no catchment area, no tribe, no tongue. Its lingua franca is silence. So when we observe a minute's silence, we remember that grief is a common ground where humanity meets. When tragedy greets, religion and tribe take the back seat. So if there is a barbell here, it rises and falls with the ballot. They say we are made in God's image. If so, have our people been pixelated, broken into pieces too small for salvation to recognize? A mosaic of dreams shattered in just, or the cries of Baga lost beneath the sun. Our newspapers tell nothing new, deja vu unto deja vu. Hear the story of a land named after a river, yet drowning the tears of its people. A nation is only as strong as the story it tells. But how do you tell a story when the ink is blood, and the paper is a list of names buried before the gates of perceived freedom? Maybe death came wearing the cologne of freedom, like in Zaria, where the soul drank tears until it could no longer thirst. There are no nightmares here. A nightmare is a synonym for our waking reality. We have been taught the art of naming our dead like chapters in history books, so when they are lowered 6 feet, they go down in history. From Asaba to Owo, to the unknown graves of Benue. For if we are walking prophecies becoming, does that mean our dead are unfulfilled prophecies? A man in his final breath once said that silence has a voice, one you can only hear in the absence of. Then he gave up the ghost. The search for peace here is like looking for air in a drowning city. If you find it, you won't have enough time to breathe it in before the next wave hits. Ask the widows of Meduguri. Chaos is not an emissary of peace. My father said, happiness is a luxury item in a store that only accepts suffering as currency. I ask, in the currency of suffering, who measures the worth of a soul lost and who writes the receipt? I know. Injustice wears a suit and tie, and the rest of us wear the scars of its design. Justice isn't blind. She just knows where not to look. But tell them that the ghettos aren't the problem, they are the consequence of the system. The system is a machine, and we are the oil that keeps it running. Our bodies are synonyms for pipelines, bloodlines, pillage for spillage. We are all born with dreams here. But how are some handed the map there while others get a blindfold here? They say hope is a slow dance. For how long must we keep dancing? What happens when the music stops? Let it be known that freedom is just another word, until the oppressed learn how to spell it, pronounce it and shout it, not conforming to the second syllable, dumb. If our land is a broken mirror, how many faces will it take to see the one that reflects hope? Of a truth I tell you, that a canvas of scars is how the past paints the future with colors of resilience. The kind that grows in shadows of terror in places like Borno and Zamfara. Every scar is a line in the story that survival refuses to stop writing. If death is the final punctuation mark, our heartbeat is a protest against the silence of graves. Our existence, an ongoing narrative. Tomorrow may be uncertain, but today we are still breathing, still standing, and that is the start of every revolution. I once heard, the phoenix rises because it knows that fire is both destroyer and purifier. We burn, but it is through burning that we are reborn. The reason the sun never forgets to stop rising is that it carries new beginnings in its light.